Good morning, everyone. My name is Jenny. Welcome back to Wake Up with Jenny and Friends. I am joined with the fabulous Mr. Shane, who's always in trouble. Thank you for joining me, Shane.
How are you? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I can't complain, just day by day, right? That's all you can do.
Good, because we don't want to hear it. How was your week?
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Been taking time off actually because three feet of snow in everybody's backyard. I'm not here to do snow removal too. So I've just been kind of spending time with the family, enjoying that, and just doing a bit of paperwork that I need to catch up on that I'm never caught up on. So
Very nice.
yeah,
Who doesn't love paperwork?
lucky I got my wife that does it all for me because I just do the bare minimum and she pulls it all together for me, or I probably wouldn't have the business. So true.
Well, and that's the thing. You have a booming business. Tell us about your business. Your Baxter Construction is the name.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we just for years and years I was a union foreman. Just pretty much did this stuff on the side since I was 16, and it kind of got to the point where I always wanted to do it, but I was always worried about where the phone call is going to come from. Am I going to have enough business? Is it going to work? So I always prided myself on quality and just being an honest contractor. And it got to the point where my phone didn't stop ringing, and I was answering the phone more often than I wanted to, even at work. And I said to my wife, actually the year we got married, I was like, I think I'm going to quit my job and just go for it. And she's like, you sure? Like, we're getting married this year. I'm like, if I don't, we're going to lose those customers. So people that I've built relationships with for years and everything, I didn't want to lose them. Right. I wanted to maintain these relationships and keep the business going. And honestly, it's the best move I ever made. It is a little more work. Like I don't get to come home and just shut it off. And there's always something to do, but you gotta balance that. You can't make everybody happy. And as long as your quality is there, I'm only I'm not a one-man show. I got a one crew. It's me and a guy. And yeah, we can only do as much work as we can do. Right. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head there about, maintaining those relationships. I think that's what it's all about. And, having that humility and that honest communication and putting out quality work. I think at the end of the day, that's what people really respect, even more so over price too, I think.
Exactly. And a lot of the times I've gotten to the point where I think I have built a reputation where a lot of the people that call me, I don't even know if they're getting other quotes. And I always tell people you should get two or three. And oh no, you built a beautiful deck for my aunt or my uncle or cousin, whatever, my dad. So they just want me to do it, right? But and I'm still very honest with my pricing. I'm not here to be rich. I'm just here to make sure my bills are paid and that everything's covered. So and it's worked fine. So I'm happy
Yeah.
with where I don't need to be a big multi-million-dollar company that has 8 crews. Like, you hire me, I'm on site. So you want to come out and talk, the owner's in your backyard. And it'll probably be like that until my son's old enough to take over, if he wants it. He can be whatever he wants to be. So hopefully one day he will want it, and I can take a step back and kind of just do quotes and do a little bit. I got some other plans I kind of want to try for too. So we'll
Oh
see what
yeah.
happens.
Well,
I've
I've
always
seen your work all over Instagram and just in our communications, and it's stunning. Like it's
thank
absolutely beautiful. Like even the simple, like even a simple fence construction, I don't know what it is, but there's always something about it that you seem to add to it that is just stunning.
it's just attention to detail for me.
I
So
think
like
that's it. Yeah.
and can just be a very simple fence, but as long as you use your levels and you line things up and you take that extra step. I got a lot of people, I'll finish the job and they go, I didn't know my fence, like this could beautify my backyard like this
Yeah.
could do this. Like, I just thought it was a fence. I'm like, well, it is just a fence, but we put that extra bit into it. And like I want to drive by it 20 years from now and show my son, hopefully when he's ready to take it over, hey, dad built that 20 years ago when you were 5. This is the quality we need to keep. So and like I said, if he wants to be a musician, I don't care, whatever he wants to be, follow your dreams. But this is there for them. And if not, I got plenty of nieces and nephews that don't want it too. So
Right.
building for the future for my family, so that's what it's all about. And I just, that's, I have fun now. So it has been this year. I lost my labor that I've had since the start to a city job, which I'm ecstatic for. I'm super happy. He got himself a great career with a full pension. Awesome. Nothing short of happy for him. Does it suck? Absolutely. He was like my brother, right? So now
Yeah.
I got to find that new guy. So we've been doing some interviews. I got a couple people I'm looking into, but it really comes down. I can teach it to you. I'm not that intelligent of a guy. You know what I mean? I just figured out how to put out work and work hard, and that's all it comes down to. And my rule is, if it's not good for your own home, it's not good enough to get paid for. So if you even think in your head, fix it. So
Yeah.
there's no questions. Just do it right. Do it right. And if that means you got to tear out what you just did, so be it. Because I'd
Yeah.
rather do it now than come back in a year and ruin my reputation, right? So that's just
Exactly.
how I it, and that's how I try to do it with the people that work with me too, or even guys. I bring guys in for the week. Like, hey, you need a couple days work, come work with me for a bit, and I just try to teach them what I was taught. From starting in the trades, and honestly, I'm happy I didn't follow the what I was told through school, and you got to go to university, you got to do this. Don't get me wrong, that could absolutely be the way you need to go for your career. But if that's not going to work for you, there's other options. And in all honesty, the trades are screaming for people right now. Like
Mm.
guys my don't exist anymore. Like it's like kids don't want to work, and the guys that have done it are retiring. So I'm in that nice void point of, being around 35 and, establishing myself, but there's not a lot of us. And the ones that there are, we're all good buddies and we all back each other, So like half my buddies run very similar businesses to me. They're building decks, they're doing fences. If I don't have the time, I send it to my buddy Dave, or to this guy or to that guy, or I got guys that do siding, that do this, and it's all just pass it around, and everybody does well with it. So if you think you're the only guy in Niagara doing a fence, you're mistaken. I couldn't even do my street in a year. So like, we all
Yeah,
got
it's
to
a
work.
community,
Yeah,
really.
and honestly, one thing I really tell a lot of business owners is, as much as I hate it, I'm not a big social media guy. I don't really have my own personal ones. I just use my business ones because it's free promotion. And it's a community you get to build, you get to talk, you get to meet other guys in the industry that you probably would have never met. And the guys that, obviously there's your negative guys that they need to stroke their own ego, and all they do is bash other people. But if you're bashing other people, you got your own problems. So just
Right.
be positive and help everybody out. So we all push each other. I get a call almost every other call. Oh, Joe from Tip Top or Josh from Bigger Roofing gave me your number. This guy. We're all buddies, right? So we help each other out, and it works. It's awesome. And it's nice to see a lot of entrepreneurs still doing well. And because, a lot of us, we took a risk, we took a large risk, and did it. But the one thing I'll say is, I didn't really feel the risk was that big, because to me, if it didn't work, there's 40 construction companies that would hire me tomorrow, so
Yeah.
it was an educated risk, and it really had no downfall. If it didn't work, it didn't work. I just go work for somebody again. But it's clearly worked. So I'm happy, and it's nice to see everybody succeeding, like see that. So
Yeah, and it's a great point to following your passion too, because that could have been a really risky time. Like when you first started, you said you just got married and you were thinking,
yeah,
okay, kind of trying to weigh out the pros and cons, and you went with your gut and you went with your passion, and I think that that's so important to encourage people to do, um, because a
trust your
lot of people, yeah, a lot of people step back from that and are nervous to do that, and that they get so complacent in a 9 to 5, right? Because
yeah,
it's a perceived sense of security,
Yes.
And, you know, there's something to be said for going with your gut and going for your passion. And as you said, if it didn't work out, you know, then you just get another job, right?
Get a job, right?
Yeah.
It's easy, right? I mean, it's not easy. We do bust our bag, and
Yeah.
I'm sweating all day, and I come home and I stink, and my wife's always like, "Why does this truck smell like sweat and cigarettes?" I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. That's my musk. Sawdust,
Oh, to Shane.
bottle it. Nobody buy it. It's great.
Yeah. Well, we'll send you out some Happy Balls stuff. And,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. That never really got off the ground. What I want to know is how many times a day someone looks at you and says, nice deck.
It's funny because there was this meme going around for a while, and it was like trying to exactly remember it, but it was like picture of a deck, and then it was this guy, and he's like, "Oh, I trimmed the hedges to make my deck look bigger," and like, well, I must have got 50 of those from all my buddies. They all think it they sent it original, like they're the first one. I'm like, man, I've like and and anytime there's something to do with like a deck video or something like that, I always get tagged in it, and sometimes they're ones that there was one that went around recently, and this guy was stockpiling shingles on his deck, like on a skid. And he stacks the last one there, and the whole deck just caves in from the from the ledger board and just folds.
Yeah.
And but tagging me in it, I'm like, guys, you can't tag me, and people are gonna think I fucking built that thing. Yeah, it's a joke, but I don't want people construction. Like, what do you mean? No, I didn't build it. Like that, it's a joke. But you
should repost it, what not to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? I use Instagram as more of a joke. I'm sure you've seen some of the questionnaires me and my buddy were doing for a while there, and
rolling, hilarious.
We just use it to joke, right? And I look at like, well, that's your business. Like, aren't you? If I'm like, honestly, if that offends you and that's something that's going to deter you from using me as a contractor, I'm going to be in your backyard eventually. So you're gonna so what's the difference? Like, this is me, and this is what you get, and that's how I do it. Like, I'm an honest guy. Like, if you don't like it, fuck, we're allowed to have different fucking views. Like,
that's right.
And that's what makes it great. Like, I can completely disagree with you, but I'm still going to listen to what you have to say. But It's the people that don't listen. Like, they're set in their ways, and they're just, no, you're wrong. Like, I am probably wrong half the time. Who knows? Like, fuck, what do you know?
Your wife will tell you. Yeah.
No.
I think this would be brilliant marketing. I think you should need some like stickers or some postcards with your face on it.
Yeah,
and the caption should be "Nice beard, but that deck though."
Oh, there we go. That's the slogan. We're done now.
There you go.
Get rid of this honest quality work. That's out the window. Oh, that's good.
Marketing genius.
Yeah, we got stuff in the planning with me and a couple of my buddies that we do some funny videos together, and there's this idea we kind of got. So this person I know makes like mascot uniforms, and
oh fuck yeah.
I was my calling. I think I should have been a mascot. Like, that's probably what I want my life. So I'm gonna get this rhino costume set up like to fit me, like an NCAA university like kind of costume. We're gonna put like a football jersey on them, and we're gonna do this thing called like the construction linebacker. So we're gonna set up things where like somebody's doing something wrong, and I'm just gonna come out of nowhere in a rhino costume and just like and just stand over top of you and yell at you that's not how you're supposed to. So we got a lot of funny videos where we're pushing, and this year there's gonna be a lot of content out. We got a lot of it already filmed. It's just going through the process right now, and that, like I said, like some people might not like it, but fuck yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I think it's funny, and that's all that matters. If I'm laughing,
that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's probably funny if I'm laughing. That's my mind. So if I make myself laugh, that's enough for me. I don't care if other people, that guy's an idiot. I'll be like, my God, idiot, but it made me laugh and I'm having fun. I'm smiling. So
Well, here's the thing though, if they're commenting that you're an idiot, that means they're watching.
they're right, right. Uh, You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Big question on everyone's mind, burning question of the day. What do you think of Mike Holmes?
All right. Do I was what he's doing? Yes. Do I think at one time he was a valid contractor and whatever? Yeah. But buddy, like what he put, what HGTV, I pretty much scream at the TV. Like I can't. My wife will put it on, and I'm just screaming at it. Like, and I think it's embarrassing because it's a lot of TV personality instead of an actual blue collar contractor. So they've lost that touch, and all they're trying to, and I've had a conversation with a lot of businesses I work with, a lot of the railings, so like Regal Ideas. I do a lot of work with. I'm sure you've seen the railing systems that I do with all the LED lights in them and all
Mhm.
that. So they do a lot of stuff with HGTV. I've done a lot of builds behind the scenes where I'm not TV. I'm just doing the actual work, and they show up and do their thing, and half the time you're fixing it, or like they're glorified real
I
estate agents.
hear that. I hear that a lot on the home makeover shows. The
They're
extreme makeover, they have to what they say is that they actually end up ruining the home and they have to bring in people to fix it.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. And a lot of them, they're not doing the work. They're just hiring the cheapest quote. So like there's times where I've gotten, hey, can you do this for this show? I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to stir the pot right now.
Oh,
But
come
hey,
on. We have insurance.
so they, can you quote this? And they're, oh man, that's a little overpriced. That's my price. Like, I don't know what to
Mm.
fucking tell. Like, go get somebody else to quote it. But then they'll get the cheapest guy in that doesn't know what he's doing and hack it together. And then and you're taking, I call this stuff, to me, they're called 50 footers. So it looks good from 50 feet. But the
Mm.
second you get up close and you look at it, you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, just terrible craftsmanship, like no pride, slap
Popsicle
it,
sticks.
get the hell out of there. And that's not how you should ever run a business. And do guys get away with it? Absolutely. And that's kind of the hidden thing in, is my business incorporated? Yes. But you can, with incorporating a business, you can just keep opening businesses. And in the construction industry right now, guys are screaming for anyone to come do work. So you can close your company, you can get sued, close your company down, start a new one, boom, 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 and then just keep ripping people off your whole life and starting. And I just think that's a terrible way to run it. Like, when I started my business, a lot of people were like, you're going to call it Baxter Construction, like that's your last name. I'm like, yeah, that is my last name because I
Mm.
stand by work and I'm not going anywhere. Like that's who I am, and this is what you get. Like, this isn't ABC Construction, or like it's you get the guy in your backyard, and that's who I am. Like, I'm honest, and that's the best way to do it. So, but with the HGTV stuff, yeah, I all I do is scream at the TV, and to the point where we don't even have it anymore. Like, I had to, how you got like your My 20 and you pick them, gone, see it, the HGTV's gone. I just can't handle it. There's a couple guys I like on there. Like, I think Brian Ballmer's pretty good. He knows his
Oh, fuck.
stuff.
Is he ever funny too?
He's a good, seems like a good guy. There's a couple guys that work with him that I've met, like a guy named Chris Palmer. He does great work, good guy.
Mhm.
But it's, those guys are rare. And most of it's just flooded with, oh, he's that handsome guy. Put a brand new tool belt on him, or a brand
Well,
new pair
his
of work.
wife is a really hard worker too. She
Yeah.
she owned a dance company for like over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
They ran that together, and she does a lot of the interior stuff for a lot of
Like
his
the
projects too.
design stuff for him, or is she actually like kept on doing? Like I said, I don't watch it because it's so.
Yeah, so they did a new project. I think it was in the Bahamas or some tropical place,
Yeah. Yeah.
and she did all the interior design stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a lot of cool ones now. Like, even with like before this COVID stuff hit, like that we were lined up to do some work. Like we were going to do some work with Regal, and there was Vanilla Ice has some sort of show
Oh my
now.
God, I've seen that.
They
What
wanted
is
us
he
to go
doing?
down to a deck, and I'm like, honestly, yeah, I'd be all about. Like it'd be kind of cool. Like, can we talk turtles and stuff? Because like he was in
Can
it.
you imagine you show up on the job, you're like, deck, baby. Dun, 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 dun.
Or like, have you ever seen a turtle get down? Just
Oh my God. Is it a crime that I know all the words to Ice Ice Baby?
who doesn't? Who doesn't? You
Thank
know stuff.
you.
You know, you don't think I know words to Justin Bieber songs and stuff? I don't, but I know. Hey, every store you go into, you hear it. You're like, oh God. But whatever. Hey, good for him. Good for you, man. You're making music. You're living the dream. Awesome. Good for you.
Who is your dream if you could put together a dream crew, not discounting your current current
Yeah.
crew or crew member, if you could put together a dream crew, celebrity, non-celebrity, whoever, who would it be?
Okay. So like, are we talking like guys that are talented in the industry that can do the work, or just guys I want to hang out with?
That's a valid point, but let's say good workers. and
Honestly,
throw in a cool dude for shits and giggles.
it'd probably be a hard one for me to pick. I would probably pick local boys that I know personally. Like I those are the guys that I know would back me and work, but they all do different things. Like my one buddy Dustin owns Carpentry by LeBlanc. He's the guy I call for questions. He'd be number one. My buddy Dave DeGuire, I'd pull those. He owns DeGuire Design. Great guy. I'd pull those guys in before I would pull in these TV personalities, because I don't think they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I would be more likely to pick a Niagara dream team of the boys I grew up with and the guys that all do great work around here than I would any of those celebrities. Like they're not my cup of tea. I'm a blue collar boy. I ain't white collar. Like I don't, that's that. And own anything that and this sucks to say now because of what Carhartt just did, but I don't own anything but Carhartt clothes. But now I want to fucking light them on fire for what they just did. But
What did they
what are you gonna
do? I'm out of the loop.
in the States, they with the mandates, right? So they
Hmm.
and I'm not for or against anything. I think you should just have freedom to do what you to pick what you want to put in your own body,
Agreed.
or everybody able to that no matter what. Like if you're willing to work, there's a lot of people out there that won't work and just take our tax dollars, right? If you're willing to go out and work, you shouldn't have that right taken from you ever. So what Carhartt did is in the States, they said they canceled that. Biden tried to put in the that you needed all your shots to work. So the federal court shut that down and said, no, we're not going to do that. Carhartt turned around and said, you know what? All the people that work for us, they're going to have to get it anyway. We're going to fire them. And I looked at it. I'm like, do you not know your demographic? Do you not know the fucking people that buy your fucking clothes? Like we're talking blue collar redneck boys.
Yeah.
Like rip the truck in some mud, go out hunting and fishing. You think those guys are the ones following the cuff right now?
Yeah. And a
Like,
few babies on Instagram.
yeah. So yes. Carhartt just jumped on that. Every white girl at Starbucks rocking a $15 toque, but that didn't last long. You know what I mean? I got $4,000 worth of clothes like that. Because my coveralls are $300. You know what I mean? And I have 8 pairs of those downstairs, not including the 40 I threw out throughout the year.
Yeah.
So I really see. I think it's when people are like, hey, do you remember Zellers? Do you remember this? Do you remember Kmart? That people are going to start saying, hey, do you remember Carhartt? Because that's what's.
Right.
And this is the time right now for a company, say Bernie or Dickies or Ox Gear or Tough Duck. This is the time right now for one of those companies to come out and say, we ain't doing that. And you're going to literally take this is the time. Like, I don't see how anybody seen this business opportunity right now. This is the time. Like I've even gone to the point of, going on Bernie's Instagram or going on Dickie's Instagram and saying, hey, what's your stance on this? Because this is your time to shine. And don't respond to it, or they don't make a statement. And I get it. You got to play the game right now, but
Yeah.
it's your time to shine. Like, it's your time to pick up all Carhartts. There's guys that are, I've been dedicated to that since I was 16 years old. I had people used to make fun of me. Were you wearing your Carhartts out to the bar? I'm like, yeah, these are my good ones, man.
Yeah, these are my fancy ones.
My,
I tuck my shirt into these puppies.
yeah. This is my, why? Because I don't have an Affliction shirt on with fucking shit all over it. Remember those Affliction shirts and fucking all over your jewels and shit? Ed Hardy. I'm like, who is wearing that crap?
It's like Von Dutch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy fuck, right? Talk about a fuck up.
What an embarrassment. I just recently saw that there is a like a show on, I want to say it's on Prime, maybe on Netflix about it.
Netflix.
I don't watch it, like, but what's it? Have you seen it?
I've seen it, and I don't think I finished watching it because it was very drawn out, but I'll have to go and watch the ending at least.
Like how they went from like everybody wearing their shit to just falling, or is it just kind of like?
So I think that, and I watched it a while ago, but so I think the gist of it is that nobody really, everyone's claiming, not everyone, but there's say 3 or 4 people that are claiming the rights to being the original Von Dutch creator. So that's number one.
I don't even know who created. How do you not know that?
Like, well, this is the first conspiracy around Von Dutch. Then the second part of that is some of these people who are claiming to be the original creators have had a wee little brush with the law, let's just say. I mean, haven't we all?
Right? Yeah.
But it's been some pretty serious, like, some stuff, right?
Yeah.
Just murder. So there's that, and then they were very celebrity based. So they got they locked on to that really quickly, and a lot of celebrities wore their stuff. But then as soon as there was like, negative legal connotations associated with it, then that really started to fall.
Oh, okay.
But so there's a lot of, a lot of unsaid things and a lot of mystery surrounding that brand, but it's crazy how you can build something so quickly and have it fall just as fast, eh?
That's all it comes down to when you're just selling a product, and you're not selling like in my industry, it's a little different because we're giving you something in your backyard. But when you're just selling a name, like just a Nike swoosh or this or that, it's very easy to just lose it, right? Because the second the people that aren't like, because let's be honest here, one of these celebrity, who's the big celebrity right now? I'm so I feel like an old guy now. Like I hear music.
Gosh, I hate to say it, but Kanye is still pretty relevant. I mean,
yeah. Old Kimmy there is his ex there that he's all mad about, and she's with what's that Pete
Davidson. What the heck is this guy? His cologne must be pure pheromone based, because he's macking chicks like mad crazy.
I've had a hate on him. I don't even listen to this stuff. I've always been a big Mac Miller guy. I love Mac Miller. It's one, like, I think he's an amazing musician. And there was like this thing where, like, I guess Mac was with that Ariana Grande girl and then cheated on that Pete Davidson guy. And I'm like, fuck Pete Davidson. Fuck that guy.
Well, everyone's fucking Pete Davidson, so.
Good, eh? Good.
Apparently he's quite gifted in the deck area.
Good.
Apparently he's got a good sized deck.
walking around and just slopping off his legs, it's probably uncomfortable.
I mean, it's a selling point.
Just wears tight pants, and I didn't know. Like, what was that movie? Spinal Tap. Have you ever seen that? You remember Spinal Tap?
No.
You don't? It was like they were making fun of like old hair. Buddy would take like a cucumber and wrap it in tinfoil and then put it in his like spandex pants and wear it all. and then got busted going through the airport with it because it dunked off on the fucking like,
Oh my God. What is that? What is that movie? Hall Pass. Holy fuck.
oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know the scene I'm talking about in Hall Pass? Where
I'm trying to.
the guy gets like attacked in the sauna.
Oh yeah, and it's like right in the face, like he's like, oh man, like
And for anyone who hasn't seen that movie, oh my dear God, you have to go watch it. For anyone
oh,
who has, you know
that's
exactly what I'm talking about. And they show full frontal, like, like for like 3 seconds. I immediately had to go to church. I was like, that is obscene.
you got to get your sins forgiven, right?
That was crazy, but oh my gosh, what a funny show. What a funny show. But yeah, Pete Davidson's macking it up. I don't know.
Good for him.
Yeah, well, hey, I mean, yeah, I mean, you make the moves, right? He's doing what Carhartt should do. He's getting in there,
Yeah, and
making moves.
uh,
Holy fuck! Holy fuck! Well, let's play a little. Let's play a little. Would you rather?
okay,
Here, we've got these card games here. Would you rather remove one of your eyeballs with a spoon,
okay.
or drink a pint of someone else's vomit?
Like people know, like, are you known as the vomit drinker, or is it like you're in a room with a gun to your head? You got to pick one.
Gun to the head. Gotta
Yeah,
pick one.
I'm gonna drink the vomit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I'd rather keep my eye. Like,
Yeah.
if it was like a
It's a toss up.
pinky finger might go, but my eyeball, and especially you got to do it yourself. I don't think I could. I can't even put a contact in. I'd have to wear glasses when I want.
It's very Sons of Anarchy with the eyeball thing.
Yeah, I'm not doing. Especially if you do it yourself. I'm not a.
Blah, blah,
Not.
blah,
I don't want to look like a pirate the rest of my life.
blah. Exactly. God, can you imagine how difficult it would be to level a deck with one eye?
Well, usually I'm like getting down
Right.
to one eye. So as long as it's not, as long as it's my eye, so I can like hunt and stuff still. But if they're eye, I'm done. Like, to go, just I'll drink the vomit.
So okay, drinking the vomit. Would you rather eat the hair from a stranger's shower drain,
Yeah.
or cut off one of your ears with a pair of children's safety scissors?
Shit. It's always one. It's always you got to eat. So there's a fear factor here, eh?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
probably eat the hair. Like
Yeah.
hair. I don't want to. That's a big part. My ears are small enough. They probably you wouldn't. Probably.
I'd eat the hair too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Oh man. Blech.
Oh, this one's good, eh?
Okay. Let's see. Would you rather put your hand in a blender and turn it on,
Okay.
or eat a 6-ounce portion of scabs?
Oh yeah, I'll take scabs all day. It's like that. That's no good. Just close your eyes, pretend it's like a chip.
Oh my
But like,
gosh.
are people are you eating like AIDS infested scabs?
You know, it doesn't say. It doesn't
Ooh.
say. It's a
See,
risk, right? You just remember at the
that's
top of the show, you
all.
said you followed your gut, right?
I'm gonna follow my gut and go with the scabs, but like I don't up like Magic Johnson.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, he's had the dollars to take care of himself now, so
He's doing pretty good. The cure to everything's money, right? So if I'm rich,
it's money. It's money.
well, we could.
There is well, I won't feed into the rabbit holes, but I'll just say there's cures for things that are going on.
Absolutely. There's no money in it. There's money in treating it. Remember that.
Well, you can't make a profit off vitamin C, can you?
Nope. Nope.
Um, okay, here we go. Let's see. Become extremely addicted to heroin. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Uh, Use a cheese grater to remove all the skin from your left forearm. Ooh, it's a
Can I?
toss up.
Yeah, that's tough because like
Tough.
I can be able to like not be addicted to heroin after that and be like, or am I like a forever heroin addict?
Well, it just says become extreme. See, you're adding things to
Look,
these here, right? You're trying. See, what you're trying to do is negotiate. This is what we call the negotiation process.
I'm like, take what you're saying, but I'm gonna add this.
This isn't a number two special. You can't add
Yeah.
things. You can't.
Like I watch those videos when people put a needle into themselves. So I guess I'm screwed on. I gotta go with the other one. I can't. I couldn't do it. I love watching those like shows and stuff, but every time like they're like putting a needle in, I'm like just and I'm like peeking through like this, like is it over yet? Is it over?
Yeah, yeah. So I have a very so yeah, I'd go the same way. I have a very I wouldn't say addictive, obsessive maybe. Yeah, I get really into things, like I go all in and then I
Yeah,
do it 100% and then I'll get bored with it and like I won't do it like again.
and then like fentanyl,
Yeah, yeah, like fentanyl. Yeah.
like bigger. Because like listen, girl, if heroin wasn't awesome, people wouldn't do it. So like I don't know. I've never done it. I mean, it's clearly people aren't like, oh, this sucks. I need more. Like,
Yeah, I'd go with the cheese grater route too. I'd go
yeah,
with the cheese grater route. Yeah.
perfect.
Okay, well, here's a good one. Would you rather change your last name to Hitler or poop out a billiard ball every time you poop?
Oh, yeah, I'm changed my last name to Hitler.
You're gonna say
I'll just, yeah, I'm not shitting out a billiard ball. Like, it got the weight too. Like, we just boom in the toilet. Yeah, no, I'll explain to people, hey, man, I didn't choose it. Like, as long as my first name's not Adolf. So,
Oh my God. Oh, you got me on that. I totally thought you were gonna go with the pool balls.
no, I don't even like it when you like you held one too long for the day and you get home and you're like almost in tears because you know, like I
Oh
don't.
God.
I'm
I
like
don't know.
fuck. I
I don't know if
jail.
you caught our show on the colonics, but maybe you might want to go with the colonics someday. You
Hey,
know.
you never know. You don't. You gotta try it out.
You don't know until you try, right? Let's see. Here we go. Oh fuck. Here's last one for the win. Here we go. Would you rather have sex with a sheep? No judgment.
Okay.
Or,
Like
or go
hell.
or go down on your grandpa.
Oh yeah, fucking all day. Like oh yeah, sheep. Sheep.
Sheep all day.
Blowing my grandpa. He's like, oh, what?
Oh my God. I'm gonna send you this video when we finish this show. There was a video on TikTok of this guy in a this old guy in a I was gonna say homeless shelter. What the fuck is wrong with me? In an old age home.
It's pretty much out there, right?
And the nurse comes by to to check on him and see if he needs anything, see if he wants to have anything
I
to
saw
eat or needs a
that.
shower. Did you see that? And he's like,
And
I want you to suck my dick.
yeah, and like, what are you? He's like, that's what I want. He asked me what I want. Good for him. You know, like if you know what you want, just tell people. Like
Yeah.
you
And
miss
that's
100% of the shots you don't take, right?
and that's how you manifest.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
I got
Well,
you that I asked a while ago on my when we were doing some questions. So, would you rather cut off your finger or get in the ring with Mike Tyson?
which finger?
I mean, one that matters, like not pinky. I'm talking in. Is this one the index?
This one?
Yeah.
With the
No, let's go.
stupid fucking tattoo on it that
Wow.
everybody thinks is a marriage ring, so no one proposes. Yeah.
Yeah, why'd you go
Um,
ahead? You're like,
uh, I would step in the ring with Mike Tyson.
I think that's crazy. I think if you gave me the option, I'd probably rather lose a hand than get in the ring with Mike Tyson.
Really?
Oh yeah. I think like if you get in the ring with him, have you seen that guy punch? Like
I've seen him bite an ear off.
you exactly. So you're already losing an ear. So you got a point there. But but that guy hits you and you got to wear one, you might end up wearing a wheelchair the rest of your life. Like that, like that's like I just
So here's my strategy for that. My strategy is to go in there, right? All suited up, ready to go, gloves
yeah,
on,
yeah,
gloves on. And every fighter has got the look, right?
yeah.
They'll be
Oh
they'll
yeah,
be smiling, they'll be hey, get in the ring, hey. And then they get the look, right? He is a very zoned in look guy. So my strategy is to go in there, look him in the eyes, tilt my head,
yeah.
and just say, "Why are you so angry?"
And just try to like take him and maybe breaks down crying.
He's gonna cry, and
And
from there, we're gonna sit down in the middle of the ring, cross-legged. I'm gonna unravel his whole childhood. Fucked. The guy is fucked.
hey, yeah, you got. I don't have that capability to like bring ears like that. I'd probably end up just getting rocked and like so. Yeah, yeah. For you, big win, big win. It's me either way. So I'm getting plastered in there, like just, just hooking me one. I'd be done. I'd
They'd
be
be
done.
mopping up the floor with your car
Oh,
hose.
oh, they'd just be using soaking it up, right? Like I'd be fucking I'd probably jump out, like, oh, he hit me right out of the ring.
He breathed on me, man. I'm fucking out of here.
That I fight. Well, that guy's nuts.
Oh
But
fuck.
I like your way of doing it. That's just break him mentally. Like get in there.
Superpower of a woman.
That's hey, we don't skill. We don't have that skill. We're just like start like being men, right? Each other on the head with a bat. Fucking
I love it. You got another one?
off the top of my head, I don't know. That one came to me.
That was the
Um,
only one.
what would be if you could have a superpower? What would it be?
To stop time.
Ooh.
Yep.
So like everybody freezes and you're frozen, and then you can just like,
I
or
can
like,
I can still move around. Yeah. But
and
yeah.
everybody like, and
Yes.
you can whatever you want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stop time. Just stop everything. Just let it stop. Just give me a minute to breathe.
And
Yeah.
then you could go like you could drive to Ottawa, sucker punch Trudeau, and then walk away, and he wakes up. He's like, "Fuck, I got hand. What happened?" That's
Those are options. Yep.
a good. I would do that.
Those are
I probably
options.
I feel like that'd be cool.
Yeah. Definitely options. Yeah, that's always been my first choice for a superpower. Always wanted to stop time.
Hey, that's I never thought about that one. I don't know. Is there a superhero that does that?
Mm, I
I
don't
guess like the Flash is kind of so fast that he kind of slows down time, but I don't think he stops it.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. Marvel should make one. Marvel should get on that.
Get phone. Get on the phone.
They,
Tag, tag Marvel. You know people. You know people.
I know people. That should be the next superhero. Forget this fucking what's the deal with this Superman? I don't well, I better not even say it. God, everything offends everyone today. But there's something
Anyway,
going on with the Superman. But they should make they should make a superhero that stops time.
and just like yeah, like we should. What would he be called though? Or her? Or her? What would
Or her, correct? Yeah. They how would they they'd identify as seconds? um, so they would be the time stopper.
the watchtower?
No, the Watchtower. Good one.
Boom. Yeah, there, that's
Heard
it.
it here
Marvel
first,
fucking
folks.
adventure.
Bananas. Oh, good lord. Um, so I hear you lost a few followers. You want to talk about that or not?
I just thought it was funny. I was posting about the convoy today, and
Yeah.
it made me proud to be in again. Because let's be honest here, with what's been going on, I haven't been that proud with how they've been running it. So I mean, it was honestly one of the greatest experiences of my life today. I think going and doing that, I think it was just phenomenal. A bunch of people you probably know were there, like I call him Coach Stoner, but Derek Stoner was there too. We, a bunch of the boy, like the contractor boys, we were all there. We were all being part of it, and just seeing how proud people were and how they were, there, every overpass you went by had 600,000 people on it waving flags, and just every, you were seeing people smile again, and that's something that we've, that's everybody wearing a mask, everybody doing that's something that we've lost is facial expressions, and you know what I mean. So it was just nice to see that again, people uniting instead of arguing over bullshit, and just being divided. So it was just nice to see that. And then when you come home and you see how they're portraying it on the news, that's not what's going on, and it just, people need to open up their eyes and really see what they're doing here. And people are like, well, you think they're going to do something? I'm like, well, you don't know until they try. You don't know if something's going to work until you try. So, like people, when electricity was created, they probably all thought he was a lunatic. You're fucking crazy, right? But like, you don't know until you try something, and I'm all for it. And like, I'm all for just people getting their freedoms back, and being able to like, the whole thing of your job's essential, your job's not essential. Every job's essential. Every one of us deserve to be able to provide for our families, provide for ourselves. And this whole divide of even people going, oh, I'm essential, you're like, well, fuck off, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
every whole job is essential to making sure you can provide. And they're like, well, 2,000 a month. Like, I'm sorry, but if I wasn't able to work, $2,000 ain't gonna cover my fucking bills. Like, I'm gonna lose my house. I'm gonna the my family, where what I've built to see my son like grow up. Like, I don't, and people are losing that, and it's sad. And I just, seeing all the people today that were just so proud and united and honking horns and being happy, and being all for each other, it was an amazing experience. Like, honestly, that was a memory that was made today. So that's something I'll never forget. That's something I'll tell my son when he's older. That's something I'll tell my grandkids, so those days don't come along a lot. So when they do, and something like that happens, it's nice to be part of it. And I thought it was amazing. Think some people are going to think the negatives, take the negatives, but could it get crazy and somebody, and a fight break out or something? Yes, there's always bad apples in a bunch, right? But you can't spoil the whole bunch by it, and that's not what it's all about. So are criminals going to take advantage? Yes, the same thing happened with the riots in the States. They started smashing buildings, stealing stuff out of it, and hopefully that doesn't happen here. And I really don't think it will, but I don't know. But it's nice to see the truckers standing, and because they're the ones that had the voice, really, because 80% of everything you wear, you eat, anything is brought in by a truck. So they had a huge, like, them shutting down ruins the economy. There's not many jobs that would happen. So, people think, oh, the fucking truckers. They like, the way people think about truckers is they just think they're basic, stupid people. Like, they're not at all. Like, they're great people, and they're the type of guy that if your truck broke down, they'd pull over and help you. Where these people, ripping apart what they're doing, they're the type of people who drive right by. You know what I mean? So these are humble, honest, good people. and
Mhm.
and to see those people coming together, and with all the divide that there's been over the last 2 years, and the fake divide that you see and everything you're fed in the media and everything that, like, I don't watch the news. I can't handle it. Like, but people are completely brainwashed by it. And it's very easy with the style of editing we have now and
Yeah.
everything we have, make something look like it's not. Like, you could edit in that I answered a question completely different to something else and nobody would know the difference, right?
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
Well,
So
the news is a rigged game. I'll just say that. It's and it's gotten worse over time. Um, so I think that if we're using, if anybody is using the news and Google as their primary source of information, I would strongly encourage you to.
those are just they're just advertising firms. That's all Google is that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they, I don't know if you listen to Joe Rogan at all, but I listened to him for years, and I love listening to him because I like how he listens to what people have to say. He doesn't just attack them or come at a certain view. He allows you to voice it, but then he questions it and has you explain it. And even if he understands it, he knows how to question it so his listeners can now understand it. And I don't know if you, the one recently where the guy was talking about Google, that was.
Yeah, Dr. Epstein.
Yes.
Epstein. I guess he doesn't want to be referred to as Epstein now,
But
yeah, Dr. Epstein, yeah.
that was scary. Like that's honestly scary to know that the manipulation and how they can control votes and stuff by just the undecided, and how they can manipulate that, and it's without you even knowing it's happening to you.
Well, and that's what they rely on too. And so we were having an online discussion about this the other day too, and because Google is a primary search engine.
Yeah.
And there are, I mean, most people aren't aware that there's other search engines out there to use. I mean, there's well, DuckDuckGo is now not the greatest, but there's Firefox, there's Brave.
Brave, what I hear, is the ultimate one right now for people that want real information.
So what Brave does is they are anti-tracking. So they are against tracking your location and your personal ID and information, and they pare down on ads, so you don't get ads and pop-ups and things like that. So they are a private search engine, but yeah, it's really, really interesting. And with all this coming out, like, we're just hearing about this stuff now, and the thing is, though, is like you can get scared or nervous or riled up about it, but it's already happened.
It's already happened.
You
Yes,
can't go back. You know what I'm saying? Like, a picture of my nipple is out there somewhere. I guarantee it.
And that's what's even scarier with kids now, and the access to phones and all that stuff. It's and even things as like bullying, for instance. Like, when or a kid that got bullied, at least when he got home, he was safe. Now you're not there. They attack you on your phone, on social media, on this, on that. And it's so weird how I see the schools go about like disciplining this. So, like, my thing is
okay, this is going to get into a whole nother conversation. Sorry. Because I'm passionate about this too. Sorry.
I really am. And I just find that they don't go after these kids that are verbally attacking these children, which, let's be honest here, is worse. A punch in the face doesn't hurt that bad. Do you know what I mean? It hurts for 20 minutes, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I was growing up, my dad always taught me, hey, like, stand up for yourself. If you see somebody getting picked on that can't stand up for themselves, go stand up for them. And I'll be honest with you, my parents were in the principal's office once a week. You can call them tonight and they'll tell you. But I was always standing up for kids. Like, if I saw somebody picking on somebody, I'd go clean that kid. And you know what? Was I right? Maybe not. But was what he's doing right, attacking him mentally and the way and it, that hurts forever. Like, if wallop you one, it only hurts for a little bit and you stop. Usually you stop, like they don't want to get hit. And that's the problem with the world right now is you don't get punched in the mouth for running your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If somebody could run their mouth and somebody could walk over and just clock them one for it without going to jail, I think the world would be a better place. But that's as long as we hold it to, I'm not saying go out there and just start beating people up. That's
Yeah, we're
ridiculous.
not promoting violence, but
Yeah,
some to be said for old school ways and learning to control yourself. I mean,
yeah,
I'm certainly not the. I've said this many times before, and I'm certainly not the first to say it. And I know, many great people have said this. Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan as well. But it's not about it, it, it's not about being a good or a bad person. It's being a beast and controlling it,
yeah,
knowing how to control it, knowing the depths of your emotions and the levels that you are capable of going to, and being able to control that emotion. That's
yeah,
what sets people apart from being in a place of strength and courage,
yeah.
and uh, utilizing weakness to get them through.
And that's something we've been lacking as a nation, and most nations forever is a strong leader, and somebody that can put these values in and back them. You know what I mean? Like they've been suppressing the alpha male and female for forever now because they don't want somebody that'll stand up. They don't want people that stand up for others, and instead of pushing people down, bring everybody up with them. That's what a leader is. A leader doesn't crack the whip. A leader's leading out front, the first one on the rope. You know what I mean? Pulling, like, and that's what we need. We need people that lead by example, and that's something that's we've lacked forever because they were led by white collar, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's nothing wrong. I know a lot of white collar people that are great people, but they lose. They're not in touch with what we need, like the way people need to. It's hard to explain, but I think
So yeah, and I think like maybe kind of what you're getting at too is people sort of back away from feeling intimidated.
yes, yeah,
And I don't think that, much like my stance on conflict, where I don't personally feel that all conflict is negative. I think there's a great deal of good that can come from conflict because you're able to see each other's point of view, and even if you disagree, you can try to understand where the other person is coming from.
exactly. And listen,
And and
and
and so with feeling intimidated, if done correctly by someone who's in a position of leadership, it should make you nervous. It should make you nervous because it should want to cause you to reach a new level within yourself, within the
yeah,
people around you, and within your own understanding. So if done correctly, being intimidated or feeling that someone is intimidating, it shouldn't scare you so that you back away. It should encourage you to come up a level.
right. And that's bringing people up with you, right? That's what it's all about. And there's nothing like, I think years ago, like even in like my parents' generation, like that's when things were pretty good, and that's why you see a lot of like the baby boomers and stuff blindly following um, government, because back then it was actually in place and they were doing good things. That's being from Niagara, one parent could work at say GM, and you could have a house, three kids, a cottage, two cars, and enjoy life and have enough. But now that you don't even get that with two parents working normal jobs, like do
Full-time
you know what,
incomes.
middle class jobs. It's they can't get that anymore, and that's a problem because people aren't happy and people aren't enjoying their lives. They're working to live, not living. You're living to work, not working to live. Do you know
Mm.
what I mean? And that's we all need those vacation and all that. Like it's everybody should be able to make a working wage and be okay. Now there is a bit of a disagreement I have with, say, like people wanting to just raise the minimum wage, because I don't think that's fair to the rest of the people that worked to get up. Do you know what I mean? So when you just raise the lower and you keep the other, say you make 20 bucks an hour and you raise minimum up to, say, when it was what, 10, now it's 14, but
Mm,
those 20 stayed at the same, all you're doing is you're making middle class lower class,
mm,
because you're raising the cost of everything. And those people, let's be honest here, if you were okay working a minimum wage job and you never strove to get better, or get that other job, to take that risk, and you just were like, no, I'm good with going 9 to 5 and making this, and not taking on a management position, or putting out resumes to try to get somewhere, that's kind of on you. Like and I look at it like we
and
all
some
have,
people are content in
and content, that's
that
fine. Like
lateral. Yeah.
to say that you're living your life wrong, if that's what you want to do and that makes you happy.
Mhm.
But you can't, the people that worked a little harder, I'm not saying those people don't work hard, I'm saying the people that worked a little harder and took risks
Mm.
are suffering because they want to bring, middle class down to lower class, and that's terrible. And it all comes down to corporate greed at the top. Like I have that question I ask people all the time is, I go, what's the difference if you make $1 billion or $5 billion? And if your answer is $4 billion, I'm hanging up. Like, we're done. Like,
Yeah.
that's spendable money. Spread it out. Let other people enjoy their lives. Like, what do you need to look at a number in your bank account for?
And
Like,
it also makes a difference too for, someone like yourself who has their own company, who is has to pay a certain wage to, a part-timer or a full-timer or employee, and a bigger corporation where, that raise might not, hurt them as much or impact them as much, so there's a difference there. But I think just to go to one step further and maybe play devil's advocate for a second, it is not so
yeah,
much the increase in minimum wages, it is the continual increase in cost of living.
exactly.
It's
That,
there's never any balance. And
yeah,
so, and this goes to the conversation about, people, these checks that the government's sending out for people
yeah,
who are, what SRCRB or whatever it's called, CERB.
yeah, yeah, sir.
Anybody who's taken advantage of that would, fine, so be it. But I often remind people that, listen, this is not free money.
Yeah, it's not.
So
It's
if you think the government is good-hearted and giving you this money for free,
right.
you are about 6 shades from fucking retarded, okay?
Yeah.
So, like, you better start eating some crayons real fucking fast. They're gonna get their money back. They're gonna
Oh
get their
yeah.
money back,
Oh yeah.
and
It'll.
we're seeing it now. We're seeing it
And
in the price
so
of
we're
gas.
yeah,
What's that?
yeah. It's the people that were double dipping. So there were people, because you accepted to serve. Like I never took it. I was, you know what I mean. But like, you could. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure you could be on welfare and get CERB at the same time. Am I wrong there?
I don't know that to be. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to say a statement and be wrong, because I would rather have the facts right. But I know there were people that were double dipping,
And
and
I'm sure
or
that happens in many facets of living, of the world, in many programs, not just this particular one. I'm sure that
oh yeah, yeah,
people take advantage, and it's not to say, and I don't say that, there's not people who genuinely need that assistance, and for that I think it's, it's great.
it,
But
absolutely, yeah,
I often have this argument, and I mean, if there is anybody out there that disagrees with me, I'm more than happy to speak with them. But I haven't found one yet. When I say that government, it's a government assistance, not government income.
exactly. Yes, I agree with you completely.
So
And it's,
if you're in need, oh, sorry, our audio keeps competing. Sorry.
oh no, no, go
No,
ahead,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just going to say, if you're in need for assistance, by all means, get assistance.
Yeah,
But use that assistance while you're working your way forward to bigger and better and greater things,
exactly.
you
And it
know?
should care if you lose your job or whatever. Yes, absolutely. Like, families need to survive. but there should be kind of a cutoff at some point, that it's, you can't be on it your whole life. Like you, or say, if you're gonna be on it, maybe you have to volunteer, or you have to do some sort of, because it's so hard now with the whole mental health thing. Because it's so invisible. It's hard to know what people are going through, and,
It's
and some
tough.
people, and I'm not here to deny that. I'm happy I haven't experienced it
Yeah.
at that level. But do I know people that have? Yes, but it's very hard to understand it if you haven't gone through it. And I try to understand it, but it's just like I said, I haven't gone through it,
Mhm.
thankfully. Yeah, do I have bad days? Are there days I'm upset? Absolutely. But it's how you deal with it that makes you who you are. But it's just how these people go on these general, like their mom was on it, and they just saw their mom take advantage of the system, and then they just do it, and then and it's, they never even once had a job or
Well,
anything.
why is it their mom, Shane? What about the dad? Why are you
Sorry,
being so
dad.
God?
Not,
Like, fuck.
that's not how I'm.
Why you always got to bring down women?
Oh, whoa. Anyone that uses it.
Oh God, I'm fucking
Gonna
with
get
you.
flooded now. People are gonna attack.
Well, now your follower count will go up through the roof.
Maybe, but then I'll get a bunch of nasty things, and I'll be like, that's not what
Oh fuck, I'm just fucking with you. But no, but you're so right. It's this like this, this vicious cycle of, well, this is just how we live. This is how we coexist. This is what I saw. This is how I grew up. This is, to your point. And a lot of people can't grasp the idea that they can get themselves out of that place too.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it's one thing to get ourselves into that spot, but we can get out of that too.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's, let's be honest here. We live in a first world nation. Like, life isn't really that hard. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's you have the ability to be whatever you want, if you're willing to work for it. Like, my thought is, like, the world owes you nothing. If you want
Oh,
something, go
yeah.
get it. Go get it.
Yeah.
Because the guy that owned Tim Hortons, that somebody started it, and somebody started, like, look at Harley Davidson, for instance. They started in a tiny little shop as big as my living room, and competed with Indian, who was
Yeah.
one of the biggest, like they ran everything,
And
and they,
you don't hear about them anymore.
no, Indians, like, an Indian is still a good group, but I mean, they're probably gonna have to cancel them soon. But but but
Oh God, I wasn't gonna touch that, but man, the natives complain. Again, people were joking. It's comedy. It's a
they're
fucking
allowed to
joke.
they're allowed to be. Like, imagine a show like The Office still being on air right now, and they said on there, and like,
Can you imagine?
they put
Oh, well, well,
seconds into episode 1, gone. See ya. Switch
oh
off,
my
right?
gosh. This is why I don't think I'd have a sitcom. But
Why can't you joke about stuff? Like, it's okay to
you
make a joke.
can. You
Yeah,
can. This is the thing. This is the thing that people are like, not all people, but a small section of the world who gets offended for being offended. You can joke. We can all joke. And I think if we all joked around and had a laugh, the
yeah.
world would be a better place. We're all so stuck up our own fucking asses. And,
Like, if somebody calls me a cracker, I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, Joe, that's funny. Whatever.
pass
Like, I
the
don't,
soup.
call me a redneck. Yeah, I don't care. Make a joke. It's funny. Like there's a difference between blatant being ignorant and cracking a joke. Like, you're allowed to joke. And I'll be honest with you, like, I played football my whole life. Like, I played with every type of person you could think of, and they were all great about it. We were allowed to make those jokes amongst each other. They were the ones laughing. They were probably making heavier jokes, right? And we there and laughed, and we're just like, this is awesome. Like, why can't we do this? Why can't we, joke about things? Like,
And I
because
think
it,
if you're a decent person, you know the limit.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
there's a,
you can tell a joke, you can be even slightly, off tune and it
yeah,
still be kind of funny, but you know your limits, like, and I mean, no one's going out there being intentionally racist or intentionally, bigoting a particular group of people for the most part. There's some that do. And
And those people
and
are
racism is
terrible.
something that does
Yeah,
very much exist.
absolutely.
And I see it and we hear it. And there are some nasty people out there who push past the limit and who are just, the pigs of society.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I would like to think, and maybe I'll speak for myself, but for the most part, I would like to think that most people are decent people and can make a fucking joke without being disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we're losing. And that's where I always go at, like, we're losing people's smiles. Like, why can't we laugh and crack a joke and just be nice to people? Like, there's no, what's wrong with that? Like, even for instance, I'll use this one because I go to Tim Hortons all the time, obviously coffee. I roll up to any Tim Hortons I go to in the Niagara region, pretty much. I roll up and I go, "Hey, how are you today?" Blah blah blah. And before I even get it out of my mouth, they go, "Large dark roast double double." I'm like, "How the hell did you know that?" They're like, "Oh, you're the only person that ever asks how we're doing." I'm like,
Uh,
"Seriously?" Like, nobody has 30 seconds or 5 seconds to say, "Hey, how are you today?"
yeah.
And no, because they roll up and they go, "Dark black coffee large." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, they're like, why, like, just be nice, like, or people yelling at cashiers and stuff like that. I'll always be that guy in line, and I'll lay into the guy yelling, because that girl or guy that's working cashier can't do that. Like, they're gonna lose their job if they scream. But I ain't gonna. Who's gonna fire me?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
like, okay, like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna, I've had people before that I've flipped off driving, and that's why I've taken the phone number off the side of my trailer. But call and go, "One of your employees just flipped me off on the blah blah." I'm like, "Oh, were you driving the black Mercedes?" Like, "Yes, I was." I go, "Well, you're an asshole because I was the one fucking driving, idiot."
Right. Right. Oh my God. Yeah, that's it. I think if we were a little nicer and had a little bit more fun with ourselves and laugh and joked around and
It's all
and and 100% be able to joke about ourselves. Like I'm the first one to have a laugh at my own expense. Anybody that knows me will tell you that. If
yeah,
you've listened to the show, you know that. I'm the
all
first
day.
one to make fun of myself, right? So it's like, I mean, and I get it a lot of I'll do a lot of Q&As on Instagram,
Yeah,
right? So I'll post to ask me a question. Someone told me to kill myself the other
I
day.
saw that. I And I was gonna be like, "Is that like one of your friends joking around?"
No,
But clearly, it wasn't. Like, who
no,
put
it's
that?
and someone was like, "Oh my God, such a." I said, "Doesn't phase me. Doesn't bother. It's fucking Johnny Pants 49 at Hotmail dot go fuck myself." Like
Peter Pumpkin Eater 69. Just
yeah, I don't know that person, and I mean, it's not like they would say it to your face. Do you know what I mean? Like how horrible is your life that you think that typing something like that is fucking funny?
and like, that's not funny. Like, it like coming in and throwing a joke at you, absolutely. But like, go kill yourself. Like, why? Like, what
I should what I should
your
have
day?
typed back was jokes on you. I have a plan in place.
Send him a suicide letter.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, I should
you
have made
you
up
were the final straw, man.
what are those things they give out at funerals? Those little those little invitation things that you I should have mailed him one of those. Oh
What
fuck.
who does that stuff, man? Like,
Oh fuck.
uh,
But you gotta laugh at it. You gotta laugh at it.
that's what you like. Honestly, I did read that on your thing, and I was like, "What a dickhead!" And I was like laughing at him. I'm like, "What a cocksucker!" Like, who says that? Like, but whatever. You know what? If like, what did he do? Imagine he was like beside his wife or something, and he's like, "Hey, babe, check this and look what I just told this fucking person." Hey, like,
The weapon just you gotta feed it back. You gotta fight back. So you know what I mean? Like you
like, don't
gotta
talk to your sound like that.
Yeah.
right?
You got to dish it back sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
and a lot of the times that, you know, you never hear from them again, right?
No, yeah.
So
You fight it, you hit them back, right? If you're quick witted, nobody wins. You know,
that's it. That's
like,
it.
and
But
especially, and the worst is the keyboard stuff because they have forever to sit there and think about it, right? Where in person, boom, 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 boom. Like, yeah, I've torn people down like to the point where they're, oh my god, like you know what I mean? Like on work sites, like you know what I mean, having fun with stuff. Like this one, I don't know if my buddy will ever see it, but this one's a good story. I was at a Canada Day party, and this is when I first started my business. So one of my buddies that owns a pool company was like, "Yeah, come out. There's a bunch of local contractors and whatever." So this one guy says to me, he's like, "Hey man, you got like a bunch of tattoos, eh?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, okay." And he's like, I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I got a bunch of tattoos." He's like, I got one. And I thought he was joking, right? So I was like, let me guess, you got some fucking Chinese lettering with some tribal bullshit all around it on your back somewhere. And he looks at me like his eyes open up, and I'm like, my wife's standing right beside me. She's like, fucking shame, foot in mouth shame. So he's like, you got to see this. He pulls it up, and it's like the back. And he's like, I didn't even get it finished. It kind of hurt too much. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, how did I nail that? But I do that all the time. Like, I'll be telling a story. Like one time I was telling this crazy, I can't even get into it because it was so nuts, but I was telling a story about my buddy saying that like his family was like incest or something like that. And I'm like, can you believe this idiot said this? I tell the whole fucking story. My one Thai, we're standing in a circle around a bonfire. I tell the whole story. And the Thai goes, hey man, you met Stu's mom? And she's standing fucking beside me after I told the story. And I'm like, you couldn't have stopped me. He's like, I tried to stop you 15 times. You just kept fucking going. I'm like, oh God. Like,
oh my god.
I'm
That
like,
is
I'm
the
so
fucking
sorry.
worst.
But I do that on a weekly basis. Like, and I don't mean I just I don't know what, like I get a story and I start telling it
You're just lucky. You're lucky.
if you call that luck, I fucking
Well, I definitely know
share it.
who's coming to the
Like,
next party.
oh man.
Oh shit. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Well, I don't know, man. We've gone an hour, almost an hour and 30 here.
Hey, it was
Yeah.
pretty easy. It was a good conversation, right?
I've loved every minute of it. I could talk to you forever. We'll definitely have to do this again.
Hey, anytime you give me a shout, I'd be happy to do.
Why don't you shout out all your stuff, your business, your social media, anywhere people can find you, your address, your home phone number, your SIN number. Let's go get to it.
30 number.
Shoe size, whatever you got.
Let me go get my credit cards.
Okay.
No, in all honesty, I pretty much just run the Instagram. I do have the Facebook stuff. I just, you know what? Like, if you see this rhino and it says Baxter Construction, that's me.
Nice.
But at the same time, don't always go by that because I've had about 4 people rip my logo off in the last 2 years. That's why I've altered it a couple times. So
Oh gosh.
it's not really the same, but it's a white rhino or this or that. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like I'm not saying I'm the first guy to do it, but I was the first guy in Niagara, and now there's 4 of them. Like
You got to put a little TM beside the rhino.
I guess I could, but it's like, what are you gonna do? Am I gonna take this guy to court? Like, what are you gonna do? And you know what? I just look at it like it's kind of a compliment. I obviously must be doing something good enough that you want to ride my coattails. So hey, all the
Exactly.
parts.
Exactly. If they're
Right.
copying you, that means they're watching, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, can you imagine that lawsuit? Sir, he stole my rhino.
He copied
Your Honor.
8 rhinos. Did you?
Mine's the rhino with the really big foot.
Yeah. To Safari Niagara for having them there. Like,
Oh God. Instagram is Baxter Construction.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. And I encourage everybody to go over there and to follow Baxter Construction, and take a look at some of the posts on there. Some of the stuff, I said it before and I'll say it again. Some of your stuff is just stunning. That you have one reel up with, you did a fence with some like some black ironwork on it. It's like black.
Yeah, yeah. Like the black posts with
Yeah.
the vinyl fence. There's no wood whatsoever on that. So that's actually a really cool product that I work with New Trend Fencing. They developed the product out of Kitchener, I believe. Great guy. And so that was the first time I used the product, and it's actually a lifetime warranty homeowner transferable fence. So it's obviously more expensive, but it looks great. It's such a cool product. So I was really happy with it. I hope that I get to work with it a little more. Niagara region, it ain't Toronto, so we
Yeah.
don't. There's a huge call for all the craziness, but hey, I'm more than happy to work with it anytime. I got nothing but good things to say about that stuff. It's a really cool product. So
It's stunning. And again, everything you do is just really, really beautiful. And I think that speaks to your craftsmanship and your quality. So
thank you.
yeah.
I honestly appreciate that. That's what it's all about. And the fact that people do see that and that I do get those compliments, that's what makes it all worth it to me. Like it's nice. It's nice to hear that. So thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show with me today and co-hosting and having some laughs.
I had a blast. I had a blast.
We'll do it again soon.
Anytime.
All right. Take care, Shane.
You too. Have a
Bye.
great night.